Okay, so far we've implemented this bit in both Greenfoot and in Scratch, where we move for 4 and then return some random amount, which could be any number between 0 and 89, including the 0 and the 89. And now what we want to do, because it still looked kind of weird, to maybe make a more interesting motion is if we say, let's say that the lobster has a 10% chance of turning each frame. Okay, so how do we implement that? So it's this, so we're getting a random number, and then we're comparing it to the number 10. So let's look a little bit more closely on that, because this is our if condition, and this is an if condition that we haven't seen in the Scratch, in this series on Scratch and Java so far. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So there's going to be an if block in here, and there's going to be a comparison operator. So it's a less than operator. So here, let's find less than. And now if you look at this, less than, it's a block that has two, it takes 2 arguments, and let's put like a 7 in here and click on it. And now it says 7 less than 50. If I click on it, it says true. Okay. Now notice, so this has the angle, if I put 70 and click on it, it says false, because 70 is not less than 50. Okay. So this one has the angle brackets. Notice pick random had the rounded edges, and that fit nicely into the argument spot for turn, because turn needs an integer. Okay, but if the top part of the if statement needs a condition, and that's why we have these angle shapes here. So we can move the angle shape into there and test that. But this will always be false, right? So what we want is we want to see, we want to pick a random number and see if that random number is less than 10. Okay, so we're picking a random number. Now this says the limit is 100, so that means we're going to pick a number from 0 to 99. So let's move this up here. So we're going to pick a random number from 0 to 99. So this is still 100 possible numbers, right? But here the first one is, instead of it starting with 1 and ending with 100, we're starting at 0 and ending with 99. So we're going to pick one of these random numbers. We're going to pick a random number and check to see if it's less than 10. So instead of typing in a 70 here, I can pick a random number and see if it's less than 10. Okay. And if it is less than 10, if this turns out to be true, then return. So let's try that. Turns out to be true, then return. And notice with this less than 10, when we say less than 10, there are 10 numbers in this group that are less than 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 numbers. So 10% of the time, this is going to come out to be true. Okay, so let's set this guy back. 0, 0, 90. And hit forever. Okay, so that's a little more interesting random motion.